And we are live. Hello.
Hello, hello.
And yeah, people have been started joining. Let me share it with our dev communities so they don't miss it. We will wait. We will be waiting for people to join this amazing workshop today. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from Toronto. I'm Nidhi Nakrani from Metis as a DevRel contributor, and we have our guest speaker as a Joseph Ortega from Thirdweb Solution Engineer. We are going to start in few minutes. We are just waiting for a few peoples so they don't miss it as well.
And is this session going to be recorded for those who come in a little bit later, Needy?
Yeah, we will be having this recording in Twitter as well as on YouTube as well.
Beautiful. So, guys, if you are missing out, don't worry. Tell your friends. There is a
Yeah.
recording as well. Excited. There's a little bit of rain in the background right now where I'm from. So, nice and calm in my area.
It's all good, but it's
Hello.
snowing here anyway. Anyway, we can start now. I think we have yeah, many people are joining in 2 minutes only. Amazing. So once again, hello everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. So yeah, we are going to start in just few minutes to give everyone the chance join. Yeah. Um. Okay. Just one more minute.
No worries. Cool. I'm excited. Can't wait to get
Me
started.
too.
Talk to
Personally, I'm
everyone.
really excited for this workshop as it is all about Telegram mini app.
Yeah. A lot of cool stuff we were going to be able to show off and do today.
Yeah, definitely. Last time we had on the simplifying Web3 development with the third app. Today we are with another amazing workshop. Yep. All right, let's get started. Okay. So for those who are new who don't know us, I'm Nidhi Nakrani, DevRel contributor at Metis. I'm super excited to welcome to all you to our second workshop with Thirdweb. If you have not joined us for our last session, the recording is available on the YouTube as well as on the Twitter. You can find it with the Simplifying Website Development with the Thirdweb and Metis, which was incredibly insightful and engaging. Yes, Joseph?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was really cool to explain you all how you guys can speed up your
Yeah.
development process with Thirdweb tooling, and today's session is going to be much of the same.
Yep, definitely, definitely. So today we are building on the momentum and diving into something equally exciting. So we are here to create a Telegram mini app with Thirdweb. As said before, personally, I'm thrilled about this topic because we are not just going to learn how to build, but we are also going to walk you through to the entire process, like from the repository setup to the live coding. So give you actionable insights you can apply directly to your projects, which can be really helpful if you're building anything for the Telegram mini apps. It will be really insightful and helpful. Good morning, good morning. We are getting many good morning messages in comments. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so for those who are new to work Third Web, let me give a quick introduction. Joseph is going to give you the more insights about the Third Web, but let me give you just quick introduction. So Third Web is a platform that provides developer-friendly tools to build, deploy, and manage your Web3 projects effortlessly. Whether you are working on a smart contracts, decentralized applications, or integrations, here Thirdweb is to help you out with the easy steps, right?
Absolutely. We're gonna go through end to end, and at the very end of it, you'll be able to actually show a working demo with you all on some of these steps. It's gonna be how to set up contracts again, how to integrate it into your Telegram mini apps,
Yeah.
all the great stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So this session is, I think, perfect example of how Thirdweb empowers developers. Like we are going to show you how to build it, of course, Telegram mini app, step by step, and explore how Metis L2, it will be on how it will be on the Metis, right? So,
Yep.
really excited. So now, without any further ado, I would like to hand over this to you, Joseph. So let's dive right in.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with you all. You're going to be seeing me switch a lot. Quick overview, as Nidhi said, for anyone new joining us. I'm Joe. I'm from the Thirdweb team, and I'm a solutions engineer here, and I'm going to be going over Telegram mini apps and Thirdweb for you all. So I'm going to present my screen here.
Uh,
I'm going to show
not.
my entire screen. There we go. You all should be able to see it. Big old Thirdweb logo. You should be able to see it. Let me know if you can't. Again, I'm from Thirdweb, and quick overview on what Thirdweb is. Right, we're a full stack. I'm going to hide that. We're full stack open source Web3 development platform. We handle front end, back end, and on chain. As Nidhi mentioned, we actually went through a little bit of a workshop on all of this stuff in the last Metis recording. So if you want to get caught up, if you haven't seen that, please go check out those recordings as well, where we dive into what each bucket actually is and how to get started using Thirdweb. As a reminder, Thirdweb is free to start. You can go to thirdweb.com, create your account, and get started today. This is going to be using the Thirdweb toolkits, all of our tooling, all of our contracts, all of our SDKs, and we're going to walk through every single step for you all so that way you guys can come out of these sessions knowing how to build your Telegram mini apps and how to start interacting on the blockchain with these Web2 platforms such as Telegram. So let's go ahead and get started, right? So Telegram mini apps, wonderful banner. If you guys saw this on X, this is today's session, Telegram mini apps with Thirdweb. And so, what are mini apps, right? What are these kind of buzzwords? What are these integrations that we're looking for? Why do we want to do these things? Why is it important? Why are they popular? Right? Because that's exactly why we're here. Is because these mini apps are popular. People want to learn how to build them. So why is that case? Real quick and simple. Telegram mini apps are web-based applications that work directly inside Telegram. That's all it is. So if you guys are thinking about certain websites, if you guys are thinking about certain gaming applications, if you're thinking about DeFi applications, and you are able to create a website front end, guess what? You can host all of these types of applications directly in Telegram. So this means that if your audience is based in Telegram, you can use Thirdweb, you can use existing Telegram bots such as BotFather, which we'll go into. We'll talk a little bit about that process as well, to create instances for your users to directly interact with your application. Super, super cool, super fun stuff that we're going to be working through. Requirements, all you need is a Telegram, right? If you guys have a Telegram account, you can go through, make it, and that's all that's really needed here. You also need a Thirdweb client ID, API keys, which we are going to walk through as we create these this application, as we walk through the code base. If you want to follow along, I'm actually going to share the repo here that we'll be doing.
Let me share
Mm,
the repo with
yeah,
the audience so they can
yeah,
also
please do.
feel free to fork it and do the steps along together with Joe. So if you have any questions
Yep,
in within,
absolutely.
yeah, feel free to post any questions regarding this workshop, please, guys, so we can answer your questions regarding this workshop here only.
Perfect, perfect. Yep. So, we just went through what are Telegram mini apps. Again, at its core, these are just web-based applications that work directly inside Telegram. So, what are some of the benefits of this, right? Because they're web based, this means that we can do things like just use traditional React tooling. We can use traditional TypeScript SDKs because many apps are essentially web apps, right? So that means we don't need anything special. We don't need to go out and look for any special packages or any special pieces of equipment to get this tooling up and running. Very, very powerful, right? Now, this means that we can focus on building a web app first and then add it to Telegram. This is one of my favorite ways to develop, especially if I'm doing things in Unity, Unreal. And now, if we think about Telegram as a very similar development platform, it makes sense that we can focus first on building an amazing web app experience, and then we can add it into Telegram. So we don't have to worry about, oh, well, is Telegram, what are the Telegram configurations I need to set up? What are Telegram options that I need? First, focus on your web app. Let's create an amazing experience for our users, for our audience members, and then we can go ahead and add it into Telegram. So this is something I think is a really great kind of mindset to have, in that, especially if you are a web dev already, right? If you've already been making web apps, guess what? You know how to make Telegram apps. Very, very simple, very, very clean and seamless transitions to work with. Now, another benefit is that because these are simple web apps, right? These are essentially your websites that you're putting into Telegram. It works with all of the current third web stack and architectures. This means all of our React SDKs, our TypeScript SDKs that are used to build web apps. Engine calls can be used to build your web apps as well if you want higher throughput of transactions, automated gas management, all of these great things. This means that your entire stack is already supported on Telegram mini apps. Really, really cool stuff. So next, I'm gonna go through this walkthrough, right? So I'm actually gonna go ahead and put in the repo that was shared, and here is our Telegram mini app repo. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a walkthrough on how it's set up, how you can go through the README, and all of this great kind of configs that we have set up for you all. So in this repo, you go ahead, clone it. You can start working with it in your favorite IDE. Today, I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code. And so, if we were to look through this, we have things on the README file for getting started, what environment variables to input, and this section right here, set authentication endpoint, is really important if you want to automatically verify your users. Looks like Steam's showing me. If you want to automatically verify users in your application, right? So really, really cool and powerful stuff.
Can you explain a little bit more about this authentication
Mhm.
endpoint? Like, what can be the use cases? Like, in what kind of projects and in what kind of situations this can be used for the new users here?
Yeah. So for for these authentication endpoints, what's really important is that if you guys have any sort of custom auth, so for example, if you have in this instance Telegram, right? We want to be able to have Telegram automatically check on our users, check on who's coming in, who's coming through, and I'll show both. I'll show another version as well where we can just add the connect button. You guys can use that. But if you want to use Telegram to automatically log in and create an in-app wallet for your users, you would need to set an authentication endpoint. Now, one caveat here is that the authentication endpoints are actually needed for things like there we go, are actually needed for as part of the growth program. So if you want to do these custom endpoints, if you want to do these custom authentication programs, you do need a growth account. But again, this isn't a complete wall or barrier to making Telegram apps. I'm going to show you how you guys can actually incorporate your standard connect button components as well. This authentication endpoint is going to just be a kind of easier experience on the end user. It's going to allow you guys to not have to pop up sign-ins, right? It's going to allow you guys to not have to focus and disrupt that user experience as you guys build out your mini apps. So, two different options, two different flows. We're going to go through and I'm going to show you exactly how to set all this stuff up within your dashboard as well. Now,
Perfect.
yep. Now, as we work through this, a lot of us, you know, and I'm going to say probably 99% of us are going to use localhost. And so Telegram has a interesting little quirk in that every URL that accesses it has to be a HTTPS URL, right? And so if you're familiar with localhost, you know localhost use HTTP. The one way around that is we're going to actually use a service called Ngrok, and this is going to allow you to still develop on your local host. And it's just going to forward the address between your local host to an HTTPS server that Telegram can actually look at. So again, we're going to go through all this. We're going to show you how that's set up and what that looks like. So if you ever have any questions, if you're running into any issues, my recommendation is to come into this README file first, and then you can, follow step by step how everything works. We lay it all out, what it looks like for the post requests, for authentication, what it looks like for setting up ngrok, all of this great stuff. So let's go ahead and get started and see what that code actually looks like. I know might look like a lot, right? Say I come in, I clone my repo. What I want to showcase is this kind of structure that we have. So in in this instance, when you come through and you start cloning that repos, you start um, actually working on this repo, you're going to see two items here, right? Two directories. One is going to be next app, and this directory is going to be your actual web app. This is going to
Actually,
be you're very familiar to you, and if you're a web dev, right? So you're going to actually see things like pages, API routes, anything that your web app is actually showing is going to exist in this directory. You're going to have another directory called Telegram bot. Now, this bot is going to be everything needed to run your Telegram bot and connect it to your web app. So we're going to have a few environment variables that we need to set on both. Here on the right hand side, I'm actually looking at my Telegram bot environment variables, and we're going to need to add a couple of things here. We're going to need a Thirdweb client ID. This is going to be from our dashboard. I'll go through, show you how to get that. We're going to need a bot token from Telegram, which we'll create. We're going to need a admin secret key. This is going to be the wallet that we're going to be using to control both the bot as well as our web app. This is for the automatic authentication. Again, I'll show you how this demo. I'll show you how to do the standalone, so that way you don't. If you don't need to do that automatic authentication, you want users to be able to authenticate through a different address, you can do that as well. And then finally, this front end app origin. Remember, we mentioned that Telegram needs a HTTPS server. If you are hosting this on your own custom domain, you'll put it here. If not, I'll show you how to get that from ngrok as well. So first up, let's go ahead and see how we can get this Thirdweb client ID. And for that, it's going to be plain and simple in your Thirdweb dashboard. So if you are looking at your dashboard, you come in, you create an account. This is the view you see. Get that client ID. You click on projects up here in this tab, and you'll see your list of projects. For us, we're going to be using this Metis demo project. If you need to add a new project, go ahead and click add new, click on project. You can follow this prompts on how to create a new API key. If you need more depths and in-depth stuff, again, refer to that previous Metis workshop, and you can get all of the details there as well. So for this demo, I'm actually going to just copy this client ID, go back into my code, and I already have it here, but I can paste it into my env file here for that client ID. Next up is going to be our bot token. So this bot token is actually going to be created directly in Telegram. And so what we're going to do is I want to share with you all the BotFather Telegram. So I'm actually going to put it I'm gonna put it here in the private chat, and then Nidhi can share it with you all. So
Sure.
this link, if you click on that link, it's going to take you directly to BotFather, and you can go ahead and start creating uh, your bots. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have this is BotFather, right? Opens up in Telegram. I can actually, if I were to do /start, it's going to show me a list of available options to me. So I can do things like create new bots, I can add a new apps, or I can even create new games within Telegram specifically. So for our demo, what we want to do is want to create a new bot. So I'm going to do /new bot, and it's gonna be very simple. It's gonna follow some prompts along. Anyone who has a Telegram account can access BotFather. You don't need any special permissions, actions. You don't have to pay for anything. BotFather is actually one of the most common ways that people create Telegram mini apps, and it's probably the most popular as well. So very, very trusting in using BotFather for your apps. So one question here is, all right, we have a new bot. What are we going to call it? So for this one, I'm actually just going to call it the Metis um, mini app bot, right? So this is going to be the name of my bot, but not the user ID. So I'm going to copy this because in the next step, I've created a name for my bot, but now I need a ID or a username for Telegram specifically. And there is a restriction here that says, hey, the username for this bot has to end in bot, right? So luckily for me, I've already had a name that ends in bot, so I can actually use the same one. That's great. Hey, you now have a Telegram bot and its access token, right? It gives us a couple things. It's like, hey, here's where you can find your bot, right? This is the ad of it. You can now add the descriptions, about sections, all this great stuff for your bot. But what we care about here is this access token. Now, make sure you guys actually keep this secure. You don't share it. After this demo, I'm going to delete this bot anyway, so you guys I'm okay sharing it right now. But when you guys build out your apps, make sure to secure these access tokens because if anyone finds out about them, they can start to handle your bot and manage your bot without you knowing. So make sure that you guys, when you copy this stuff, especially you're uploading things to GitHub, for example, in our code here, if I go back here, paste in our bot token, when you upload this file to GitHub, make sure you add it to your git ignore so that it is not also added into your repos as you push this stuff up. That's our bot token. We've created that bot. Couple things for the bot. Let's go ahead and finish a little bit of setup. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Yeah, we're going to do this admin security key later. Again, this is going to be a private key for a wallet that you control. But for example, here, this front end app origin. And remember, I mentioned that we're going to be using a service called Ngrok. It's free. Create an account, and you can start using it right away. Is our way of how to add a web app URL to Telegram. So we've created our bot in Telegram. We've added the token into our env file. And so now what we want to do is we want to add a new app, right? So we're going to do a new app here in the Telegram bot. And it's going to ask us, which bot would you like to add a new app to? We've created this Metis mini app bot. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And now it says, okay, cool. What's the title for your new web app? I'm going to call this Metis demo app. Little description of it. Fine. I'm going to do just Metis demo app as well. These can be anything you want. You can update these later as well. And it's going to say, hey, let's upload a photo for this web app. Cool. I'm actually going to go ahead and Metis image that I have. And now it's going to say, do you want to upload a demo? Not right now. I'm actually going to do empty here, /empty to skip it. And so now it's going to say, okay, cool. You've set up your web app title, the description, and an icon. Now I want the URL for that web app. Now remember, the current URL, if we were to come into our Visual Studios and I were to look in our uh, Telegram mini app / mini app repo, right? So, and then we're looking in our next app directory. In the next app directory, again, this is where all of our web apps live, right? This is where all of the pages live, the API routes, all of that good stuff. So if I were to run this, right, and I'm using Bun, but you can absolutely use Yarn, NPM, PNPM, all this great stuff that if you would use, I just prefer Bun for this demo. So that's what I'm using. But if I were to run this, we'll see this local uh, kind of environment or host that we see, right? Again, Telegram is looking for HTTPS, and we are developing in local. So I'm actually going to just copy this, open back up Metis, the Telegram app, and I'm going to look at my command prompt for Ngrok. Again, if you need to set this up, let me actually send that you guys can use. Private chat. Here you go. Again, if you guys just go to this Ngrok, you can set up your account. It'll walk you through exactly how to install it globally. For my instance, because I'm on a Windows machine, I'm actually using a dedicated terminal window for this. And then a couple different steps that I'm going to do is one, I need to add my local host to be forwarded by Ngrok. So here's kind of what's happening. User comes into your app, into your Telegram mini bot, right? They open up your web app, and the web app will forward to this ngrok URL, and then the ngrok URL will actually forward to your local host. So that way, you guys can still develop. You can still test all these things as you're building without having to constantly upload a new domain every time, right? So how do we actually do that? If we follow the ngrok documentation, the command for it is this right here. Ngrok, HTTP, and then your local host. I believe for my use, I am using localhost 3000. So I'm actually just going to change this from 8080 to 3000. So if I hit enter here, you'll see that it will give us a couple bits of information. One, tell us our account, all that cool stuff, where we are. And then it's going to give us this forwarding URL. So again, anytime a user comes into your web app, it's going to use this URL, and that URL is going to point to your local host. So for your dev experience, Ngrok is a really great tool to use.
I do have one quick question.
Go
So,
ahead.
if any dev will install ngrok, so do they have to set up any extra things for the ngrok to play this thing?
So there's one step, and again, it's in your in that onboarding, where you put in an authentication token. So the reason why I'm not showing that is because this authentication token can't be changed, but it is a literal copy paste in your Ngrok dashboard. So copy that, paste it here, and you're good to go.
Okay, got it.
Cool. So now that we have our URL, we need to put this into a couple places. One is going to be here in our env file. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that into our code base. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and open up Telegram again. And remember, BotFather here has asked us, hey, what is the web app URL that you're going to be using when a user clicks on that direct link? So we're going to go ahead and click or paste in our URL here. And so it's out great. We have your URL. Can you give me a short name for your web app? So this, I'm just going to be Metis demo app, right? That should be okay. Metis demo app, no spaces. There we go. Um, and so once we have that, we can actually look at this URL. If I were to click it, it will actually open up. We'll go ahead and visit this site. And here we already have a mini app running for our Metis app bot. Pretty cool, right? Like I'll show you. I want to go through our dashboard as well to show you exactly what's happening here. But this is what your user can see. So you can see that it's running off our Metis mini app bot that we created. And you can share this URL with people. You can have people go directly to the mini app bot, hit start. They're good to go. Now, a couple things I want to walk through in our repo. So in our repo, we mentioned that we need to have this admin secret key. This is for the automatic signatures that come through. I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to expose my secret key to everyone. So I'm actually going to just pull this out. And this is going to be your essentially private key for a wallet that you control. I would recommend creating a whole new wallet instance, right? An EOA wallet instance for this. Because again, if anyone gets access to your private keys, then they have access to that entire wallet. And it's just a good kind of security
Yeah.
measure to keep everything separate. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then here we have the same for our ANV file on our next.app one. We've added our app origin. Um, it's okay. Like I have the secret key here, but it's a throwaway account. I don't care about it. And we just need to add things like our bot tokens here. So if I have, I just want to make sure that our bot token updated. Have this one just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to our bot token, and we're good to go. That's it for our ENV setups. Now we are going to do our routing, our apps on our pages and what these look like, right? So, for example, again, next apps, pretty simple. We can go through these pages and we can look at the page that a user logs in with. So if I were to open up our web app here again, so we can see kind of one to one on what this looks like. Very simple, very familiar in building this stuff out. So if I have some auto connects here, I also have a connect button, which is going to correlate with this. So if I were a user, I were to come in, click connect, I see the traditional Thirdweb Connect components that you guys can all bring in and add. You can add Telegram directly into here. For this demo, I believe I just use my email. And so it's going to ask me to have my OTP. So let me go ahead and open my email here, grab that code, and I am now in my app. I'm connected in my app. In my app, I've designated that I want smart accounts, and I can start interacting. Now, this portion is up to you guys on how you want to build out your web apps. You don't need anything special or that I'm showing you here, right? It doesn't have to look this way. So, for example, for this demo, I want to demonstrate sponsoring transactions, right? People who are coming into your web apps probably might not have gas. So as you create these wallets for them, you probably want to sponsor some transactions. So what does that look like from a development perspective? And how do I one create contracts? How do I turn on gas sponsorship for these things? Really, really simple. In that repo that we showed, we have a constants file. So in this constants file, and again, this is in your next app directory. This is in your directory that controls what your app looks like. In that constants file, I can do things like, okay, what what uh what wallets do I want to support, right? What social logins? What chain am I working with? So for Metis specifically, in order to get that chain, we're going to define chain. We're going to add this 59902 chain ID, which is the Metis L2 testnet. And if you need help looking for any of that information, we actually have a chain list page here for you all that you guys can go to and use and utilize. And you can click on Metis and you can see, oh, you know what? Metis L2. If I were to click on this link, it will take me to a page for Metis. I can get test Metis as well through a faucet if needed. Through this link, I can see RPCs. I can see the chain ID, which I can copy directly here, and so on and so forth. So, really powerful tool that you guys can also use as you develop. Going back, go ahead.
Definitely, definitely. And I would just mention one thing that um, like almost every services of the third web we have running for the Metis, right?
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Cool. So I'll show
Yeah,
you the contract service as well right now
yeah,
as we go through this, which is going to be
yeah.
really, really easy for people to use. So for account abstraction, right? This is how we got our chain ID. and why we pasted that chain ID here. And then for account abstraction and sponsoring gas, why I created smart accounts. Again, you can see here in this section that I've designated. I want every user to come in who comes in to have a smart account, and I'm going to be sponsoring gas on their behalf, right? So here I'm going to say, yep, I want to be able to sponsor their gas. And on what chain am I sponsoring for? Well, it's going to be this Metis chain that we've defined earlier up top. So really simple and easy to use. We then have a couple of constants on contracts that you might be working with. So we have some examples. If you want to work with a token drop, you can put that contract address here. Addition drops here, NFT drops, you can follow the same, and then as well as any sort of other contracts that you might want to be working with. So in our demo, I were to click on sponsor transactions, this page will actually use the um, gas abstraction and account abstraction to claim this token on behalf of the user. So how did I come in and create this contract? Well, again, very simple. It's going to be through your Thirdweb dashboard. This out of the way so we can see it here. And here in my dashboard, I can see my contract. If I'm a total new user, and we're going to go through this flow on the next example here, and I want to create a contract, again, this is going to be through your dashboard. But for this example, for this sponsor transaction with Metis, I uploaded an NFT. I grabbed the contract address here, right? So I can copy it, go into my constants file, and go ahead and drop this into that that variable. Now, after that, if I come in through my app, go ahead and click on claim. It should go ahead and claim. Yep. Oh, insufficient funds. I don't have gas abstraction turned on correctly. Let me see here. Claim. Oh, I should probably save this file. And that would help a lot. Oh, also, I know why. Page in my connect component here. I believe it is account abstraction equal to, because I'm not using my wallet that I'm passing, um, equals, and then I believe it is here. Sponsor guess, a true, and then I'm going to do the chain, which I'm going to copy from our constants. Grab this chain, we'll pull this in. And again, this is only because I'm not using our wallet list for this specific connect button. You can, so you don't have to do all this. And it's probably a little bit cleaner on your end as well. But if I were to do that, save this application and reload this app. So I'm gonna go ahead and reload this page. Oh, let me actually relog in as well to get that. Here's my wallet, connect again. Grab our OTP code.
So the authentication one was for this one, right?
There we go. This is for the standalone one.
Uh,
So we'll go ahead and hit that link, and then now if I claim, I should be able to claim gaslessly with our Telegram app. Going through, claim successful. You can see that here in our in a pop-up that has happened, so I can hit OK. You see that in our Telegram mini app that is indeed updated. And if I were to go to my contract, couple things that we see happen. One, we see that a token was lazy minted. We see that I've updated claim conditions for this. Again, we went through all of this in the previous workshop, so if you need help on that, go ahead and refer to it. We'll go through it quickly again in another demo here. And then we see this token claimed, right? So if I were to look at my NFTs on this contract, I can actually see that, hey, there's a supply of one now because I'm using an 1155. And that is the token that I just claimed within our app. So not only were we able to create this Telegram mini app, but we were also able to have it interact with the blockchain on behalf of our users. So really, really powerful stuff here. And again, this is all through our SDK, through our Thirdweb's SDKs that we're using. Nothing really special going on here in these applications. Um, Again, the power is that, hey, this is a web app. This is something where we can use existing tooling kits to create. And so I have another example where we're going to be doing it through a open edition. And so I haven't created that contract yet. I We have about 20 minutes left. I think we have enough time to go through it. I want to show you guys end to end what that looks like to create a new open edition contract. So here in our dashboard, I'm going to go to contracts. I'm going to deploy a new contract here. And we're going to go ahead and look for a open edition ERC 721 contract. Go ahead and click on deploy. And for this one, I'm just going to call it OE Metis demo. And in this contract, I'm going to add it as a game pass, right? So if someone comes in and wants to mint this token, it's just going to be a game pass for them. So here we have our chain Metis Sepolia testnet. If this isn't already selected, you can actually look and search for this chain here, and you'll see that we have both mainnet and testnets available for you all. So you can select that testnet and make sure that you have this import into the list of contracts on your dashboard selected. This is going to automatically show this contract within your Thirdweb dashboard, so you don't have to go around and search for it through the transaction. So once that's going through, you can go ahead and hit deploy now. You'll see a pop-up on your connected wallet. For me, that is my MetaMask. I'll go ahead and confirm that transaction. And so real quick, as you can see, it's already deployed the contract. It's already created it super fast. And now this signature that pops up is adding it to my dashboard. I'll go ahead and confirm that one is a gasless transaction. You're not going to pay anything for that. This is just a message signature. So that way you can actually add it to your dashboard. And so we'll go ahead and let this finish. Once this finishes, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and configure our open edition. Great. So I can view this contract through this button. And so we're going to go ahead now and configure our actual NFTs for this open edition. So I want to set my metadata for this. I'm going to call this again. I believe we just called it Metis. We'll just do Game Pass, right? You can call us whatever you want. No restrictions here. This is your projects that you guys can do. And for this Game Pass, I want to be minting this image on behalf of the user. So we'll go ahead and set this data. This is going to prompt a transaction on your wallet. Again, this is all for your NFT. Beautiful. We've set that up. Now we need to go and look at our claim conditions. We've gone in depth before about claim conditions, but remember, if you need to mint any sort of NFTs, claim conditions are a must as it designates who and when and how much can be minted. So here we're just going to go through our defaults. Unlimited, I don't mind. We're actually going to start today at this time. That's totally acceptable. How much do you want to charge? It's going to be free. We'll go ahead and save this phase. It's going to ask for a transaction on our MetaMask as well. We'll go through that, prove it, phase has been saved, and we're good to go. Now, we've created our contract, and in our application, we've decided, okay, in our constants, we have this open edition address, right? Where do we get that? So for us, again, we just copy the address directly from our Thirdweb dashboard, come back into our code file here, paste that in, and as we start working with contracts, again, if you're familiar with it, if not, if you need a little bit of refreshment, you can go to the previous video. But once we paste in our contract, we're going to use our get contract hook or function rather, and then it's going to say what's the address we're working with and what's the chain. Remember, we've defined our chain to want to work with Metis. So I'm actually going to update this to use our chain constant here, right? So that way we're pointing to Metis L2. We'll go ahead and save that as well. And that should be it. You should now be able to come back through here. I'll go back to my menu. And we're going to click on this second option here. Let that load in our app. In the meantime, I want to talk to you a little bit about, again, the pages and the structures that happen through this. So for the second route, it's going to be looking at this page. I can update any of this information so that it actually updates my web app. And for the first one, it is going to be, again, in a regular page directory right here on the left-hand side. So we went through gas list, click on page. For the second one, it's going to be on this directory, click on page, and you should be good to go. So here, um, again, I need to update for gasless transactions here for Metis, but or I can actually send some tokens here, which I think I might do, so that way you guys can see it. Um, and you should be able to go through this and see what that flow looks like. So here for Metis, I need to update the gasless transactions, but you can see how I've already added the new Game Pass for this transaction, and you're good to go. So just for the sake of showing you what the entire flow is, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go into my MetaMask. I will send some tokens for this account.
Meanwhile, if you have any questions related to this, what we are doing, feel free to drop in comment box. Nearly 1,100 people are watching right now.
Cool, cool. All right. Looks like I'm stuck here on my MetaMask. But anyways, that's how you would do it. That's how you would use this to come through and get your transactions. Again, we've seen it work with this flow where a user can come in and claim it on that. I know we have about 10 minutes, so I want to make sure that we have enough time for questions. Um, does
Yeah.
anyone have any questions?
Feel free to drop in comment box, guys, if you have any questions related to this workshop. It has been amazing till now, very helpful for those who are building the mini apps on the Telegram. Definitely, I'll say.
I'm
I
glad.
think, I think people are going good right till now.
Yeah. Again, the second one is only just because I haven't set up the proper the proper wallet stuff on my end, but it works exactly the same. If you wanted to, you can actually just copy the repo here,
Yes.
and it will work directly with your use case, and you're good to go. Um, that's it's I
Amazing.
promise.
I didn't thought that it would be this much easy. I would say like easy, but yeah, like it's a doable thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Telegram mini apps, nothing to be scared of. You guys can build as long as you know how to build a regular app, then you know how to build a Telegram mini app. So really, really simple.
Yeah,
Nothing too complicated.
yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like nothing complicated, really useful as well. Yeah, so nearly, as I said, 1,100 people are watching right now. We are almost about to finish the workshop in 10 minutes. So please, if you have any questions related to this workshop, feel free to drop in comment box. Um, we will be here for a few minutes more if you have any questions. So I would like to ask you, Joel, how was your experience while you started developing this thing on the Metis?
Yeah. So on Metis specifically, as you guys saw when we were putting up our contracts, it was so fast, right? That speed comes directly from the Metis chain that we're working with, and it's not necessarily only a Thirdweb thing or instance. It's directly from Meta. So what I mean by that is, as we came through here and we were pushing out contracts, it was so fast. That
Yeah.
means your development time, boom, super quick, cut in half. I loved it. It's an amazing experience, Metis, developing on Metis.
Yeah, so like with the help of Thirdweb, if you're developing anything on the Metis, you will save a lot of time on your development side. Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the fact that, our faucet was